let's see where we're at right here. It's not this one. All right, guys, here we go. Sorry for the delay. I know we talked about a couple nights ago. Remember, that's new. I have young kids. It's actually probably going to be the last break I do at my house. Maybe Friday will be whenever I finally met fully at the shop, and it won't be an issue. But maybe. Essentially, I have a 10-month-old and a 2.5-year-old. We have a Topps Chrome Update, Topps Chrome Cosmic. We have the 2 Jumbos, Topps Chrome Update and regular Topps Chrome, which hopefully we can get some Acuñas and Otanis. I can't think of who has the teams right now. If Brady and Brian want to just leave the Otanis or Acuñas they hit here and just get them for break credit, I'll turn them into Topps for the buyback. We have 2 Tier 1 boxes and then the definitive. I was going to say, and I believe that's all the boxes in the break. Let me double check. Make sure I didn't forget one. Nope, that's it right there. All right. Either way, what I was getting at was I have a 10-month-old and one 2.5-year-old. And their bedrooms are next to each other, and she just would not stop screaming. I thought she'd go back to sleep, but instead she stood up, took her binky, and yacked it across the room, and was throwing the biggest prima donna fit I've ever seen on the camera. And the problem is right now, my wife is out with her friends, so I have to put her back to sleep. And unless you guys wanted to hear a screaming 10-month-old in the background for an hour, throwing her head backwards as if she's lost her first love at 10 months already, that's what we would have had to deal with. I was more worried about her waking up Joseph, because you wake him up, he's not going back to sleep for at least a couple hours. But yeah, apologize for the tardiness. Was very unexpected, as I had them both down by 7 o'clock, 7:15, and then gave the 8:30 buffer, figuring if something happens, one of them wakes up or whatever else, would have a window there. And clearly did not create myself a proper window, so my apologies for that. Hopefully everybody's having a good week so far. Is it Wednesday already? Tuesday? Wednesday, right? Yeah, Wednesday. Either the other breaks fill up, we'll run them tonight as well. There's a pick your team up that I posted today, and then there is the other random that I posted with this yesterday. I will use a slight advertising tactic for right now. Is essentially with the mixer, I'm going to try to keep a random mixer up at all times. It's under $50. Essentially something that's less than 2 blasters. Where if you're wanting to go to Walmart and spend $60 on 2 blasters, I don't know why you wouldn't get in a break where you actually have a better shot of getting an autograph. And most of the time, it's better product than whatever you're getting in a blaster. I try to put some stuff that's hobby only, like a tier 1 or whatever else. But not that I'm against. By no means, I'm not against retail. I just if you're ripping a bunch of retail and you're not ripping it for your kids or whatever, I don't understand. I've never understood why guys would get into a break over or would get a bunch of blasters rather than hop in breaks, in my opinion. I never understood that concept if you're going at it other than just wanting to open things. Then that's a little bit different. But if you want to open things for cheap, I think you should just go buy a bunch of Pokemon, because you can open a shit ton of Pokemon for way less than you can for sports cards. Plus, the pictures are cool. Man, it's funny how Pokemon's come back. I know COVID had some stuff to do with it, but kind of crazy how there's like the same generation of kids when I'm like an adult now. They're like a new generation of kids are like super into Pokemon. Get rolling here. We have Aroldis Chapman to start us off. Michael Bush, Luis Castillo. We have Eddie Julian. Stuck to Yuri Perez. And we have Hernandez, Tommy La Stella. Got J.J. Bleday, Taj Bradley, Weimer, Goldschmidt, Mervis, Drury, Rodon. I have Jordan Walker on the Titans. And Sabol. And Zach Neto. I have Narcio Crook. For the Red Sox as our first hit. On the auto, that's going to go to Ricky Sparks. We have Ozakar, Colby Allard, Hosmer, Robbie Grossman, Volpe, Engler, Hernandez, Josh Jung, Perez, Rosario, Beebe, Kyle Farmer, Andrew Nardi. We have Brett Wisely, Gavin Stone. We got Brewer Hicklin for the Royals. Yeah, I mean, I will... Yeah, they stick. 54 out of 75. Was it 2021 card stuck really bad, too. So, it's not necessarily new that they stick. Brewer Hicklin here on the yellow mini diamonds. I'm going to the Royals and Joseph Bryson. We have Freeman, Bellinger, Garrett Mitchell. Got Mendick, Velasquez, Hobie Harris, Stram, Candelario, Jose Siri, Jesse Winker, Mitch Garver, Irvin, Masataka Yoshida, Cole Raggins. I have Nolan Gorman, Wendell, Justin Steele, Leody Taveras, Joey Ortiz for the Orioles. He should be their second baseman to start the year next year, unless Jackson Holiday comes up with him and they got to shift some guys around. We got Lyles. Even then, I think Jackson Holiday goes a shortstop, Gunner over to third, and Joey stays there for now. Francisco Alvarez, Lugo, Kirk, Bichette. We got Dylan Moore, Robbie Grossman, Yuri Perez, Mookie Betts, Vargas, Dustin May, Bobby Miller, Jason DeLay, Solano, and Anthony Volpe. Yuri Perez on the Prism, Corbin Carroll, Oscar Gonzalez, Vaughn Grisham, Nick Martinez, and Clayton Kershaw. Rest Snyder, Luis Medina, Vasquez, Garrett Hill. We got Ben Joyce, Michael Bush, Bretton Doyle. Going to the Rockies on the Fuchsia. Be a 319 out of 399. You got Aaron Judge, Kevin Kiermaier, Bryce Miller, Kuas, Garrett Action again. Sean Murphy, Noda, Brett Batty on the refractor, Velasquez, Clevenger, Vargas, Aaron Judge, and J.P. France. That's going to be the first hobby box of Topps Chrome Update. Well, the only hobby box of it. Let's get into box of Tier 1. It's one of my favorite products all year is Tier 1. We're actually going to get a 4-carder from feeling the side of it. We'll see. Definitely getting a 4-carder. You got Riley Green on the 366 out of 400. To the Tigers. on the memorabilia. 174 out of 200 on the Cal Ripken Jr. Legends going to Angela. The Tigers was Gabe. On the Ripken memorabilia, gonna have Max Fried, 7 out of 249. To the Braves and Brian Ward. And to the Giants, we have a 2 out of 10 David VR on the silver ink. Going to Phillip Lemons on the VR. To the update jumbo, and then I'll go Cosmic Chrome, Tier 1, Topps Chrome Jumbo, and we'll finish with Definitive. I do like the idea of the rookie debut patches being an update. Like, I do like that concept. What I will say that they did really well with the with update, whether you like the checklist or not, is I think they've been very, very consistent about autographs and the number of parallels, like numbered parallels that are in every single box has been good. I mean, knock on wood, we haven't been missing anything when it comes to that. I know some people have had boxes that have missed autographs, but we haven't had any of that, which I can say is pretty good quality control wise. And I will say I don't think the card surface damage, there hasn't been like a lot of surface damage randomly, or the centering seemed to be pretty good. I think they made other than like Philip said, where they're a little bit sticky, kind of like the 2021 cards. There hasn't been any maybe it was 2022 it was 2022 they were sticky in the jumbos. Because I remember Tom Scarberry wanted a whole personal case. And I just remember you have to like bend the cards a little bit to get them to all unstick. Like you'd have to like flick them in the middle with your finger and they'd all like magically unstick. It was, I don't know. One of the guys at Real Breaks was doing it, and like it worked, but that was like, I don't know. I don't think they should be that way, but clearly it happens sometimes. We have Brandon Drury, Bradley, Rodon, Allard, Sabol, Mervis, Blade, Brett Batty, Xavier Edwards, Josh Jung, George Soriano, Kyle Farmer, Hernandez, Hosmer, Neto, Hobie Harris, Bellinger, Wisely, Rosario, Englert. We got Chucky Robinson on the auto to the Reds. I have Yandy Diaz, Anthony Volpe, Bryce Terang, Langeliers, Garver, Gary Mitchell, Stone, Mendick, Beebe, Fat, Pham, Raggins, Jesse Winker, Joey Weimer, Mike Trout, Jordan Lyles, Jose Barrio, and Michael Harris II, Galorme, Peralta, Brown, I have Kelnick, Tovar, Yepez, Ohapi, Aaron Judge, Lourdes Goriel, Bregman, Ryu, Luisa Reyes, Irvin, Stram, Williamson, Candelario, Senga, Walker, Lopez, and Moreno. You have Eddie Julian on the Fuchsia Purple Lava. Going to the Twins and Brian Eckstein. Frierson, Altuve, Garrett Hill, Lewis, Camballero, Andrus, Bird, Sears, Weiss, Odorizzi, Bailey, Dominic Smith, Luis Reyes for the Marlins. 15 out of 50 on the True Gold. We go to Richard Pierce, I believe in his first break. Welcome to the group. I appreciate you getting in a break. Sorry, the random. I mean, I don't think the Marlins are actually terrible in this because I think Xavier Edwards is pretty good, but I apologize on your first one not getting a huge team. We have Luis Robert and Oswald Peraza, just kind of how the cookie crumbles sometimes. Get in to the second half of this jumbo. We have Cheater Downs, Mason Miller, Blake Perkins, Phillips, Levy Stout. We have Contreras, Provar, J.P. Farrison, Xavier Edwards. We have Josh Jung on the Future Stars, Carlos Rodon, Alonzo, La Stella. Got Sam Hilliard, Schuster. Behind Schuster's Bobby Miller on the debut. Feltner, Eflin, Renfroe. I still think Renfroe looks like Mike Trout every time, man. We have Arcia, Castro, and Fulmer. We have J-Rod, Bo Bichette, Bryce Harper, Joey Wendell, Pablo Lopez, Brewer Hicklin, Owen Miller, Lou Gamina, Tyler Alexander, Jolks, Navarez, McLean, Cooper Hummel, Waka, Provar, Riley Green, Nardi. We have Pasquantino, Schmidt, Soto, Amaya, Adley Rutschman on the debut, Fortes, Anderson, Reynolds, and Bryce Miller. For our next autograph, it's going to be Grayson Rodriguez on the fuchsia refractor. Just adding color to cards here, guys. Grayson Rodriguez, 462 out of 499. Going to Angela. We have Garcia, Acuna, and Gorman. Pache, Yoshi. I'm not going to talk about how he'll probably be the ace of the Orioles. I don't want to jinx him anymore. We have Fairchild, Gunnar Henderson, Garrett Stubbs, Grayson Rodriguez, Mitch Haniger, Sam Bachman, former first-round pick for the Angels, 2021 Bowman draft. We have Wong, Eddie Rosario on the blue-green lava. It's going to be out of 125. It's going to be a 67 out of 125 for the Eddie Rosario. Going to Brian Ward, we got Taj Bradley, Max Scherzer, and Tavares. Matt Mervis, Choi, Rochio, Oscar Colas, Dodd, Ortiz, Julian Urshela, Juan Nen. We have Fernando Tatis Jr., Albies, Henderson, and Diaz. That's going to be the update jumbo. Into the next box at Tier 1. We have Josh Donaldson on the 60 out of 400. Man, Josh Donaldson gets so much hate. I know he's like a little bit of a Southern boy and says some dumb stuff, but this dude at one point in time was like for a 4 or 5 year period, he was like the best third baseman in all of baseball. You could argue you might have been the best player in baseball for 2 of those years. Dude was an absolute monster. Next, we're going to have Mike Trout. I don't know if this guy's any good or not. Never really heard of him. 43 out of 50 on the Tier 1 talents. Going to the Angels. And Brady. There's a big boy hit. I have Wilson for the Mariners. Turn around and grab some more 75-point top loaders. Starting to get worried, Austin. I was like, man, try to do big mixes with Definitive, and like, yeah, it's a lot. Like the hits are spread out, but like, bro, why are we pulling Chucky Robinson right now? Not that Chucky Robinson's probably an amazing guy. He's probably an amazing person. This is going to the Mariners and Rob Gervin. 169 out of 299. Marcus Wilson is, I believe he got traded, or he's back in the minors, to be honest, Rob. He came up when their whole outfield was hurt, and like the first 2 games he looked like he was going to be really good. And then he ended up not being very, very good. You can look it up, I was going to say, but yeah, their whole outfield got hurt last year and he came up. I think he's still in their I don't know if he got traded or he's still in the organization. I mean, they did get rid of Teoscar Hernandez. I think they're going fully with Kelnick and J-Rod, and I think that other spot's going to be open because, I mean, unless they sign somebody, everyone's saying they're making room for Ohtani, but I don't know, man. I don't know if the Mariners have the money to sign Ohtani. I'm actually surprised Ohtani hasn't signed with anybody yet. I'm surprised there really hasn't been any huge movement in the free agent market. Yeah, Sonny Grace. I mean, yes, he signed. I had some arguments with people trying to say he shouldn't be a number 1 or number 2 in a rotation, and I was saying, like, on most teams, that guy is a number 1 or number 2. Look at his numbers. Like, I feel like there's some guys that just don't have that oomph. Like, they don't get the right recognition. I mean, Garrett Cole's in that same sentence. Like, Garrett Cole's been a top 5 pitcher like every year, and no one gives that dude any love. Like, maybe it's just because of the teams he's played for, but I feel like he still doesn't get the love he deserves. We have Starling Marte, Jordan Walker. We're going to have Alvarez, Altuve, and Bregman Stott. We're going to have Pete Alonso, Ezekiel Duran on the Nucleus Refractor. Going to the Rangers. Good old Zeke. He should be back in the starting lineup for the World Series champs, going to Mario and the Rangers. Yeah, Christian Walker, Freeman, Neto, Verdugo, McLean, Robert, Lowe, Valdez. We have Adley Rutschman on the Starry Knights. Grosjean, Bohm, Swanson. We have Trout and Ohtani, Gunnar Henderson, Cole, Turner. We get ourselves a Chris Bryant on the orange Ray Wave going to the Rockies. And that's going to be a 3 out of 25. Trust me, I've been trying to push it, Andy, I was going to say. And not just like salt and pepper. We have Abrams, we have Walker, Fujinami, Votto, Vientos, Green, Ruiz, Cabrera, Jung, Langeliers, Alvarez. We're going to have Miggy, On the launched into orbit, Kershaw, Prado, Franco, Henderson, and Rutschman, Ryan Nelson. Have Jimenez, Machado, Wander Franco, Rosario, O'Hoppe, Yu Darvish, McKenzie, Goldschmidt, Freeman, Meneses. We have Carroll, Moreno, and Thomas. Otani, Hoskins, Lopez, Morel, Cortez, Cron, Scherzer, Story, Rodon, Bello, and Austin Riley. We're going to have Whit, Rodriguez, and Pena. Bryant, Sosa, Gorman, Bryce Harper, Logan Webb, Stowers, Senga, Ragans, Lowe, Guerrero, Verlander. We have Nestor Cortez for the Yankees on the blue. That's going to be a 38 out of 99. Going to Tom Hafner in his first break in the group. We have Colas, Bellinger, Baez, Cruz, and Diaz. Welcome to the group. I hope you enjoyed. I think you were asking about breaks in one of the groups, if I'm not mistaken. Hopefully people answered your questions. I don't know. Some of the people, there's wonderful people in the hobby, and then there's just sheer assholes in the hobby. To be honest. Yeah, Cosmic definitely is a great look. Get rolling here. We have Jordan Walker, Assad, Rhys Hoskins, Stowers, Cabrera, Brett Baty, Austin Hayes. We got Waldichuk, Hap, Reynolds, Adley, Rutschman, Juan Soto on the Titans, Randy Arozarena on the refractor, Mookie Betts, Gabriel Moreno, Vargas, Cavalli, Garrett Mitchell. Yeah, Groshans, Volpe, Carroll, Acuna Jr., Lewis, Moreno, O'Hoppe, and we have Mackenzie Gore. Yeah, Mike Yastrzemski, Riley Green, Paul Goldschmidt, Baez, O'Neill, Rosario, Tucker, Cody Bellinger, Corey Seager, Chapman. We have Technicolor Alvarez, Brian Reynolds, Altuve, Varsho, Scherzer, Trout, Yelich, and Jimenez. And Bregman, Aranda, Toglia, Jones, VR. We have Pete Alonso, Brian Serven on the purple speckle. 44 out of 299. One of the Rockies. And Steve Walkstein. Rockies getting some volume tonight. We have Trey Turner, Zach Wheeler, Tristan Casas, Shea Langeliers, Gunnar Henderson, LeMahieu. We have Walsh, Adames, Drew Waters. We have Tatis Jr., Manoah, Evan Longoria. It's going to be a 6 out of 50 going to the Diamondbacks. And Adam. Bryce Harper, Nolan Arenado, Outman, Meneses, Bo Naylor, Robbie Ray, Suzuki, Bryce Harper, Mountcastle, Benintendi, Ryan Nelson, Woods, Richardson, Peraza. We have Vientos on the Prism and J.J. Bleday on the Refractor. Yeah, Matthew Liberatore, Melendez, Smith, Kershaw, Guerrero Jr., Eaton, Gosman, Alec Boehm, Marcus Stroman, Xander Bogaerts, Bobby Witt Jr., Ian Happ, Herman Marquez, McCutchen, Ramirez, Peterson, Riley, Clemens, Marcus Semien, Encarnacion, Senga. We have Grove, Stevenson, Paul Goldschmidt. And behind him, we got Ken Waldichuk for the Athletics. Waldichuk is too. Going to Ant Martin. We have Ezekiel Duran on the Refractor. DL Hall. Anthony Rizzo, Zach Gallen. Carlos Correa, Anthony Rendon again, Stevenson, Darvish, Ezekiel Tovar, Albert Pujols, Perez, Yordan Alvarez on the Technicolor, Jose Ramirez, Logan Webb, Cal Mitchell, Bello, Garcia, Mullins, and Peraza. We have Downs, Murphy, Morel, Cruz. We have Vaughn Grisham for the Braves on the Radiating Rookies. Don't be hating on Austin's boy Waldner. Not very nice. I really do think Vaughn Grisham. I would hope they bring Vaughn Grisham up this year. We have Luis Castillo, Olson, Prado. I think they're like curbing his development so bad. We have Ethan Small, Nick Lodolo, Jury, Colas, Abreu, Haniger. We got Shohei Ohtani. That's going to be $20 for Brady. I'll put that to the side if you want me to just collect that one and throw it in a pile. We got Burns, Grisham, and Alvarez. We have Alex Call on the purple. Going to the Nationals. 178 out of 250. That's going to Austin. Got Waldichuk on the Prism. Got Ozzie Albies, Pasquantino, Thompson, Freeman, Bichette, Alcantara. Contreras, Hayes, Steer, Musgrove, Cron. Miggy Cabrera. There we go. Anthony Volpe on the Aqua Wave. Going to Tom. Now that's a nice hit. Why couldn't figure out how to sign his name any closer so we could get a 10 on one of his autos would be great, but Freed over here, Anthony Volpe here, and we can get this man off the board and put this man here. And then we're going to have Shane McClanahan for the Rays to round that out on the Refractor. In a definitive. Yeah, that's his first break in the group. Regular Topps Chrome this year was extra dusty. I don't know how else to explain it. Like, it's like one of the guys was like, LeBron James powder dusting fucking after he made the cards, and part of my language. But and sprinkled it all over all the cards, man. I don't understand why those cards are so dusty this year. I don't get it. There's a Riley Green memorabilia. So I wouldn't call it necessarily hosed, but there hasn't been an autograph. Oh boy, we're getting a piece of a shoe or something, my favorite. I'm trying to turn the card so they're actually facing me, not upside down. There we go. All right, first card, here we go. We have a Juan Soto 24 out of 30 on the patch autograph. Going to the Padres. James Krause. Some of that camo jersey. I'm going to have Vaughn Grisham, 19 out of 25 on the green rookie. Rob, oh man, you can't make me laugh like that. You could have his Marcus Wilson. We have a 19 out of 25 for the Braves going to Brian Ward. I have Frank the Big Hurt Thomas, 8 out of 40 on the patch auto. Going to the White Sox. And Joseph Bryson. I'm going to have a Yankee. It's going to be a 24 out of 25 Don Mattingly. Going to Tom. Going fishing again. We have a 2 out of 10 gold framed Mike Trout. Going to the Angels. And Brady. And then we're going to have dual auto Glavine and Smoltz, 5 out of 25 going to Brian Ward and the Braves. On the dual memorabilia. Then we're going to get an 11 out of 30 Adrian Beltre on the memorabilia. Jesus fucking Christ. And we're going to have Joey Votto with his protector at the plate. It's going to be this thick thing. This is actually the second one of these I pulled. 2 different cases, but we pulled one already. Fits nicely in these HTA things. It actually fits like perfect in these HTA things with a pad, so that's why I've been putting it in. And that's going to be a 25 out of 25. Because it's like a 460, man. I have like 260 things and it doesn't fit in it. So, well, you haven't watched... if you were old school, you would have seen Tom Scarberry hit about 4 trouts in less than a week at one point in time. In the same case of Museum Collection, I think there was 2 trouts and an Ohtani in the one break, which was nuts. And then we're going to get the most overrated shortstop in the history of baseball, Derek Jeter. And I don't know where this is numbered at. Did they just throw this in here? It hasn't. Maybe it doesn't have numbering. It is Defining Images, where he's giving his final curtain call, but nonetheless, a nice hit for Tom. Trying to look for a number, but I mean it's clearly numbered. I don't know if it's a 101, but I'll have to look at the checklist. It's a sick card. I don't actually hate Derek Jeter. I just hate that everyone thinks he's like this ridiculously good fielding shortstop when he's not. I'm just a numbers guy. The numbers don't add up, and numbers never lie. So he does have like 5 Gold Gloves, so somebody likes him, but. Yeah, I don't see numbering on it. Someone wants to look at the checklist so I go over the hits. Well, you know what? I was going to say the... Let's get into the hits here. It's probably overall the best box of Definitive we opened out of the case in that box. I don't know what the rest of the case is going to look like, but we'll post it. I'm not going to post a bigger random tomorrow. I'll take a day off of bigger randoms and I'll post it Friday. So the next one I'll have a Definitive box and it'll be Friday. I'm going to keep them at randoms. I just think it's the best way to go about it because the Yankees and Angels and Braves like crushed it this time, but in reality when I priced it out, the Angels and the Yankees and the Braves would have to be like in the 300s, like, which just means like A, somebody has to want them, and B, like if they don't hit, like you're getting like just murked. We have 11 out of 30 for the Adrian Beltre, and the problem is they're that price only because of Definitive. Like the Angels are pretty bad in other boxes, other than they're not bad. They're just not. Well, no, that's a lie. Tier 1 they actually have good checklists, but the Angels are like a little bit weaker than they've been in a couple last years. They didn't get Trout and Ohtani to sign as much stuff this year, especially like in Museum Collection. I was kind of surprised. We have Brewer Hicklin on the yellow mini diamonds. We have Alex Call on the purple, Evan Longoria on the gold, Nestor Cortez on the blue. We have Bretton Doyle on the fuchsia. We're going to have the Nucleus Refractor Duran. Josh Donaldson out of 400 on the memorabilia. Rosario on the green-blue lava. Cal Ripken out of 200. Riley Green out of 400. Both of them on memorabilia. We're going to have Vaughn Grisham on the radiating rookies. We're going to have Chris Bryant on the orange Ray Wave and Julian on the fuchsia purple lava. Joey Votto on his shin guard or elbow pad, whichever one. I think is his elbow pad, out of 25. I feel bad for him that he got dropped. Essentially, he's probably a Hall of Famer, and they cut him off the roster. Like, I don't know how they couldn't work out a deal to let him be like a backup. Maybe he didn't want to be one. We have Chucky Robinson on the base, Luis Arraez out of 50. We have Crook on the base, Waldichuk on the base, Servin on the purple speckle, and Marcus Wilson out of 299. We're going to have Max Fried out of 249. You got Don Mattingly out of 25 for the Yankees out of the Definitive. We're going to have David VR 2 out of 10 on the silver ink. We're going to have Glavine and Schmaltz 5 out of 25. We have Juan Soto out of 30 on the patch auto. Then we're going to have an out of 40 Frank Thomas on the patch autograph out of Definitive. going to have a green Vaughn Grisham out of 25. I have Grayson Rodriguez on the refractor. A little bit heavy on the left there. We have Derek Jeter, which I don't know what it's numbered out of, but his last final curtain call at Yankee Stadium. We have Mike Trout, 43 out of 50 from Definitive, and then we're going to have a 2 out of 10, or my bad, Tier 1, and then we have a 2 out of 10 gold frame from Definitive. Then we have Anthony Volpe, 187 out of 199 on the Aqua Ray Wave. And that is the break, guys. You guys have a great night and be safe. If either of the other breaks fill, we'll break them. What an up and down roller coaster of a break, I'll tell you that much, because the beginning of that break was starting to get a little rough. Yes, you had a the dude that almost batted 400. Well, he wasn't even close by the end of the year. Luis Arraez out of 50 autograph. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I appreciate y'all. You guys have a good night and be safe. The next break with Definitive will be around the same price point, and I'll drop it Friday for random teams again. Obviously, there'll be an announcement. The schedule for everything's gonna get a lot stricter. I've talked about it before. I'm gonna be going back to working in an office during the day, starting on Monday. So the schedule is definitely gonna be like I'm gonna probably drop a thing in the morning around like 10 o'clock. Tag everybody like I always do to let you know what the schedule is. Probably gonna drop breaks around 1 or 2. Like 1, 2, and 3 will probably be when they drop all Eastern Standard Time. And then at nighttime, whatever fills, we'll probably start running them at 8:30. And then from 8:30 to like 11:30, and then it'll be like a hard. If nothing's filled by 11, it'll roll into the next day. I'm not like some other groups. Like I know where like I'm in like that medium, like big range. I'm never gonna get off of the camera. I am actually hiring some help to help sort and help run the shop, but I'm not ever gonna be like not breaking. But some of the other big groups, I know they like pull things. I try not to pull anything because I truly do think when I create a break or when product comes out, sometimes people just don't see something, and I'm going to get a lot better about trying to push stuff and drop prices if I have to. All I ask is if you do give offers, like try to limit it to like not 30-40% off. Like that's really not. If I could take 30 or 40% off of everything, I would just make the price of the break cheaper. I don't know how else to say it. Only I got some really like ridiculous offers whenever I said to give me offers for that half and half case. That's just something. And if you have offers like that, at least try to put them in the chat. If it's in the chat, I'm more likely to work out a lower ball, like a really low ball offer than if you put it in the comments, to be honest. But I appreciate y'all as always for anybody that stayed to listen to that spiel. I will hopefully see you guys later tonight. If not, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night and be safe.